The day has finally arrived. I've been waiting for a while, and two things showed up today in my wood yard. The Bob Nelson and the Kindlet 200.
Yep. This has been in the works for probably, what is it? We're in September now. Probably about 8 months, 9 months, pretty much since I've been at Wolf Ridge.
A long while.
Yeah. Chris and I talked about getting into the potential to import some products and distribute them here in the United States, but also to potentially build some products. And we reached out to the guys at Fuelwood. I had known them from a past working relationship and seen some of their equipment. And we thought that this would be a fun product to bring into the US market.
And I have heard of Fuelwood in the past. I mean, I've heard of them before. I've seen this machine a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's something that a lot of firewood producers use to, I guess, add the kindling.
Yes, exactly.
It's designed to make kindling.
Yes.
Right? I
Yep.
mean, that's its sole purpose.
Yeah.
You feed in rounds, it spits out kindling at an unbelievable pace.
Yeah.
Fuelwood makes all kinds of equipment.
Right.
And this was the first stuff that you brought in.
Yes, exactly. And so we brought in the Kindlet 200s and we brought in the Kindlet Pros. And much like a lot of European equipment, these are powered by either your tractor PTO or three-phase electric or single-phase electric. And we are going to be working on getting engine options on both of these as well. So as it is right now, you will be putting some hours on your tractor. Yes. And we know that that's a point of contention, but
that's fine because my tractor, that's what I have it for. And it's an interesting design with the PTO power as well. It's just cables running over, and then it's just a little box that
the
fits
pump
on
just goes right onto the PTO shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
But we were thinking when you were doing your small wood operation, the mini firewood, that something like this could fit the bill for producing that, so that you're not sitting there with the hatchet making the small pieces.
Me and the little boss man have been swinging the hatchet quite a bit. And a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, but many months ago when Bob first started talking to me about this, immediately I was like, oh my, what?
Yeah.
Tell me more, tell me more. But we have been spending today now getting things kind of dialed in and adjusted to, I guess, fit that size of mini firewood.
What you want, yeah.
What I'm looking for. But it makes, like I said, I think, a large firewood operation that's already making kindling, something like this would be, I mean, really up the production.
Yeah, yeah. And it gives you another product to sell too at your roadside stand, or even if you're a bigger operation. You know, you can add bags of kindling to your sales revenue.
Right,
You know?
add it on or include it in as a little
And their idea is
add-on.
that you would take like your offcuts and things like that you don't want and put them in here, and then that's what you would split.
Yep.
So at the end of your logs, when you're processing, you know, maybe you always get a 6-inch piece. Well, this is made for 5.5-inch to 6.5-inch lengths. So those offcuts that come off the processor can go in here. And maybe they're too big a diameter, so you can just split them in half first, put them in. Now, it does still sound like a lot of work, but making that mini firewood is already a huge amount of work.
Yeah.
If you can take out one step.
You can eliminate steps in the process. It definitely is a huge advantage.
Yeah.
And I was just going to ask you, so the specs on this are the width, 5.5 to 6.5.
The length, 5.5 to 6.5, yep. And then the diameter, 8-inch.
8-inch diameter.
And now you could put quarters in, you could put halves in, you could put full rounds in, depending on, you know, how it fits in there.
Yep.
And we did some of that cherry, and I think the straighter the wood, the better you can put in here, right? It's sold as an automatic kindling machine, but you still need to pay attention to what's going on. It is wood. Sometimes things will go sideways, the grain's different. You know, you still got to watch it, and every so often you'll get something that just gets mashed up and comes out. Now, it still burns, but maybe you wouldn't include it in your mini firewood boxes.
Right. I mean, it's still, you're going to run into knots, you're going to run into all that stuff. You've already had a video come out yesterday.
Yep.
Going over kind of everything on this.
Yeah.
And in the future, I'll be showing more of this.
Yeah, and I'll do full walk-around videos and stuff too. I basically just did the introduction video yesterday showing the two machines and the fact that we were going to be bringing them in here to the U.S. market and Canadian market for that matter.
And so today so far, we've just been getting this thing set up, we have run, well, we haven't run it very long, but we have made a lot of wood.
Yeah. I'd say probably we have 10 minutes of runtime on it, maybe?
If that.
Yeah.
And to your point, like you do have to kind of watch what's going on in here. So it's not like something you just load up and walk away from.
Right, right.
It's, you know, you put the rounds or the quarters in one end, they feed through, and there's an X knife that just comes out and continuously, as it's, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's all tied together. The belt's moving as the knife's.
Every time the blade comes forward, it advances the belt. And if we want to change the split size, we've got it set almost as big as it goes right now.
Yeah.
Which is almost to what I think it's where you're looking for your target. You can go a lot smaller and then make the actual kindling pieces.
Yeah.
But basically, we would adjust. There's a stop adjustment that gets adjusted, and that changes how much the belt gets advanced, and then therefore how big the split size is.
It all is tied together, and it's real. It's simple design, but it's very, I don't know, like intricate.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I know over in Europe, like kindling is a big thing with their firewood sales, because I think the majority, and I'm just, from what I know about the European market, the majority of it is for heating.
Yeah.
So like you always have, and there's people heating with smaller stoves that they always need to like start a fire. And there's a need for that kindling to be included. So like, you know, if you're selling firewood and you make kindling to go along with your product, I mean, something like this could really stock you up in a hurry.
Yeah. Right. I was telling you before we brought it over, you know, it's going to make a lot of inventory for you in a quick fashion.
Yes. So the Kindlet 200 from Great Britain, the British invasion has happened in the back 40 wood yard. We're going to run this a little bit more now. I'll give you guys another look at it. I got some footage from earlier, but we're going to do one quick little, another little run. So check this out. So there you go. That was about a minute and a half. And this whole tray over here that was filled up is now gone through. Right there is the X knife. And now you have all this.
Yeah, shove it all out.